Do you have a job? Did you have to do an interview to get that job? Or are you a little nepotism hire? Well, if you had to do an interview for that job, then you're already in a better position than Jay Clayton, the nominee for Director of National Intelligence. Basically, there was a Senate hearing yesterday for that guy, and the whole time he couldn't answer the simple question of who won the 2020 election. I'll give you a hint. It was Biden. It was Biden. I know. Brace yourself here. You know, the guy who won the popular and electoral vote. He won the 2020 election, which you and I both know that, which makes us infinitely smarter than this actual dumbass. All right, so today we are going to be watching a couple different videos. We're going to be talking about Senator John Ossoff, who actually, tomorrow, there's some really bad news revolving around him, right? So tomorrow it seems like Trump will be announcing that he's not supposed to be a senator, which is something. But we'll be covering that tomorrow. That's a story for another day. But today we will be watching him absolutely grill this guy. And then after that, we'll probably, because I can't see into the future, we'll probably look at Mark Kelly doing the same. He's an astronaut, Navy SEAL, something. Like, he's a crazy guy. He's awesome. So we're going to be watching that first, and then we're going to watch the second. We're not going to watch the whole clip. I'm going to kind of not cherry pick it. I'm just going to, like, cut off the front, cut off the end. You know what I mean. And let's get right to it. How about that?
Who won the 2020 election?
I'm not going to do this with you.
This is a job interview. We've established that you have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee. Yes, you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee?
Yes.
Who won the 2020 election?
Like I said, I'm not going to get into that with you.
But you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee.
Is anything that I just said not honest or forthright?
Yes, you're not being honest or forthright. Who won the 2020 election?
I think I've answered the question. We can keep doing this.
Well, we're going to keep doing it because you're not being honest and forthright.
No, I'm not going to engage in the theater.
It's a simple question, Mr. Clayton.
And I've answered
Who won the 2020 presidential election?
I've answered it.
You're here asking for the support of senators to lead America's intelligence community. We've established that you have an obligation to be honest and forthright with this committee and with the American public, but you refuse to answer a simple matter of fact about the 2020 election. Is that right?
No, that's not right.
Then answer the question. Who won the 2020 election?
I have answered the question.
Answer it. What is your answer?
I've given you my answer.
What is your answer? You refuse to answer a basic question about who won a presidential election, but you asked to lead America's intelligence community? Isn't it humiliating to be unable to answer this question, to have to indulge the president's delusions? We know, you know, everybody in this room knows the truthful answer to that question. Why can you not give it?
I think I gave you the answer.
Are you aware that Director Gabbard was present at the Fulton County raid in Georgia earlier this year?
You discussed that with me yesterday in your office.
Are you aware that Director Gabbard was present at the Fulton County raid earlier this year?
You brought it to me, my attention.
What is going on here? You've said at the beginning of this you have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee. I'm asking a very simple question. Are you aware that Director Gabbard was present at the Fulton County raid earlier this year? Yes or no? Are you aware?
So there you just saw John Ossoff absolutely grilling him about who won the 2020 election. You can tell that he really doesn't want to back down from this corner of that Trump won it somehow, right? And it's kind of horrifying to see that he's gonna be the next Director of National Intelligence. That jamoke. Bro, like, there was a clip before that I didn't show you, where basically he went back and forth about this one guy who was 100% convicted of narco-terrorism, and then Trump went in and pardoned him. So, you know, as Trump says, we're going after the worst of the worst. We're going after the drug dealers, except for the drug dealers that he's pardoned because they're rich and cut him a check, right? So there's that, and then he actually had no idea about him, which might be reasonable if it wasn't in his district. So it's less reasonable. So I don't have much to add to that clip other than the fact that it happened and I wanted to bring it to you guys. And then here's another clip of Mark Kelly, which we will have more to talk about, doing the same thing but in sort of a different vein. And I think you might be interested in watching this, so we're going to watch it now.
I've got a couple very basic questions, and then I want to get a little bit of your opinion on the threats we face if we have time. So can you tell me why Joe Biden was certified as the winner of the 2020 election?
I'm going back to my constitutional law here, but I don't want to continue to have debate about this, but I believe he had the most electoral votes.
So he won the election.
He followed our process, had the most electoral votes, was declared the winner, and
who has the most electoral votes? Is it the person that wins or the person that loses?
I think that's your characterization. I'm not going to continue to do this.
The reason why we struggle with this, and I think it's especially important in the job you're nominated for, is because it seems that folks who are nominated for these positions just fundamentally refuse to disagree with something the president says. And the problem I have with this is he isn't in the room today. You're going to be in a room with him many times. And at times, you should have a difference of opinion. And if you can't disagree with him when he's not in the room, are you going to be able to disagree with him when you're sitting across from him in the Oval Office or the Situation Room? That's what I struggle with, because this job is different. This job, it's not about softening the edges when the truth is unpleasant. It's about delivering information and making sure the president understands that information. And by the way, people risk their lives to get this information. And if it's not transmitted to the president, if he doesn't understand it, I mean, there's going to be disagreements. We expect that. But I really struggle with this, especially in your position, because you can't disagree with him on this, because he doesn't like the fact that he lost in 2020.
Look,
As you said, Joe Biden was certified because he got the most electoral votes. That means he won. But you still refuse to say that.
And I was sitting at the SEC when this occurred, and I can tell you that maybe people worked harder, but I don't think anybody I know worked harder to make an effective transition to my successor at the SEC. And in terms of your question, I have every confidence that I will deliver on my job candidly, independently, and with my best judgment.
But just not in this room. Okay, let me move on. So I want to just hear from you. What do you think our top threats are that we face?
Alrighty, so that's the important part of that clip. It's kind of interesting what happened there. I think we should definitely think about everything that he said. There's a couple of moments in there where I was like, yeah, that's a good point, right? For example, his job isn't just to soften the news, which is basically what all of these other people have been doing around him. All that Trump is just spoon-fed information, spoon-fed the presidency. And in a job like the Director of National Intelligence, you just can't do that, you know? You can't have someone who fundamentally, the National Intelligence, you can't have somebody leading the Department of National Intelligence who doesn't know who won the second to most recent election. You know, like, that's just, we can't have that. We can't have someone who just softens the blow to Mr. Trump. We can't have this. And call your senator, and tell them to vote no on this. This is really dumb. All right. That's all we're going to be talking about today. Later today, we will be watching live later today. Do subscribe, because later we will be live watching Trump's primetime address to the nation, talking about the elections, which might be a huge day for America today. So